Hey, how's it going? So, I was thinking of working on my next WarioWare D.I.Y cover, and then I thought about maybe I should do a little behind the scenes thing, show you guys what goes into making one of these, aka the view that nobody wanted nor asked for. Anyway, let's get started. Obviously, these covers are made in WarioWare D.I.Y for the Nintendo DS. So, go into here real quick. So I might as well explain a few things. First off, I highly recommend you get this game. Just buy it because it's really fun. Not only for making music, but it's also what sort of got me into doing game design stuff because it is a really good sort of tutorial for that sort of thing. Anyway, if you do want to make covers like I do, then you will have to go through a few tutorials for the various parts of creating stuff in WarioWare DIY. But after you get to that, you'll unlock these two things in the main area where you can go make things. So let's start. And you can only have two songs going at a time, which is one reason that I switched to an emulator. Which is one reason I do say I recommend you actually pick up the actual game, because I was first doing these off my DS using a few cables to actually get it hooked up to the microphone, and it was a bit tedious. But if you do have the means to, I highly recommend actually getting the game yourself, because it is good, and I recommend supporting them if you like the game. Anyway, so go here, and, well, the song title's a bit long, so I'll just go... The song from Caro Blaster. Really fun game. Play it if you haven't done already. That's not how you spell Blaster. There we go. Is that how you spell it? I don't know. I've been out of it lately. I've forgotten how to talk and forgot how to spell too. Anyway, so in here, this all looks a bit complicated and daunting, but it's not that complicated. Settings, just the title really. Let's go into here. Again, it probably looks a little overwhelming, but that's not really a big problem. So I have this big empty thing full of a good chunk of song. But where is the song? Do I play it from ear? Actually, I go over to this other program called Anvil Studio. Yeah, sweet fade there. This is a program I've been using to open up .MIDI files. You get a little sheet music and stuff. I've also had to use like normal sheet music as well. And while I'm here, I just do want to look up something to make sure you can actually still get the program, because I've done like a tutorial thing in the past, I believe, where you couldn't actually get it. Anyway, yeah, Anvil Studio is a free program that you can use to make music and, well, you know what I mean. I don't know. It's been a long day. I'm sorry. Been recording a lot of things. Just got out of hand. And we can compose music, you can read music, edit music, that sort of thing. So I have a MIDI file for the song It's My Blaster from Caro Blaster. So let's start from the beginning, listen to it. As you can see, it sounds a good amount like the song. I sort of cross-reference various MIDI files and sheet music to make sure it actually sounds alright. So while we're here, let's actually go back over to the game for a second and change the tempo to make it match up. I saw the tempo was 155, but we can only go in increments of 10, which is annoying. So for stuff like this, I sometimes, after I record the song, I go and change the tempo a tiny bit. We'll get to that later. But, as you've noticed, there is no percussion track here. In this case, I have to actually go to the song itself and play it by ear. But for now, let's just go with what we have right now and try and make a measure of the song. Go over here, make our first thing, and let's go over to Audacity actually and listen to the song real quick bit first. Sort of get an idea what the instruments will sound like, since we have a good amount of instrument choice in here. Let's take a listen. Now, because of the game, it's made by Studio Pixel, also made Cave Story. So it's sort of, well, for lack of a better term, like 8-bit and pixel style music. Pixel's a terrible term for that. What am I talking about? Anyway, go back over to WarioWare real quick. This button here shows us the various instrument types. Well, it seems like a lot. Overall, it's not a huge amount of instruments. Let's see here. Yep, that's a bit of slowdown. Normally not supposed to slow down like that. I'm doing a whole lot of stuff at once, got all these windows up, and I'm recording this, so that's probably bad. Anyway, if you mouse over these, I'll just go over to that. Ooh, thank you, OBS. If you have the window selected and you mouse over the things, you actually hear it, but if you mouse over the note itself, you can see it on the little piano thing there. I can't read sheet music. I used to be able to, but I cannot do it now, so, yeah, it kind of sucks for me. I should relearn at some point. So, let's go over here. Let's see. That's that note. Go over to WarioWare again real quick. That's our first note there. Oh. Oh. I need to reference all the various windows I have just to get it, but you sort of get the point. You lay out the notes in the way you want. But I will go over a few things that this game does lack, unfortunately, which is a reason why some of the songs may not be of the best quality. Anyway, so, oh, there's a few chords in there, so, up. Yeah, you can only do one note at a time there. Plus, you can't do triplets or anything, nothing like that. You can sort of do that in Mario Paint, which is another program people use to make covers in, but here it's very limited, like super limited. And, yeah, we only have... Oh, I don't have that set up. I have set a controller. You only have 4 music tracks and a percussion track. Percussion you can only have... Let's see. You can only have 4 things at a time, which I haven't had a problem with. But as for all this, yeah. For some of the songs, I've had to actually use multiple save states for, like, one save state with certain instruments, another one of different instruments, and play them at the same time. Record them at different times and sync them up in Audacity. This tutorial is going over the place. I'm sorry if this is incomprehensible. It probably is. Anyway, I guess I'll jump ahead a bit to when I actually have a few measures down and, see you guys in a bit. Alright, so I finished the first measure. I turned up the game audio a bit. And, here's what it sounds like. Actually, let's start with this. Well, I sort of spoiled it, but this button down here plays back all the different tracks, so... Oh, did not like that. Okay. Mental note. Do not do all this at the same time because the game will slow down. But this is just for demonstration. Okay. Anyway, look at some of the stuff over here. This button's for balance. Haven't really used this at all. Plus, any of these changes go for the whole, these whole measures here. Anyway, this is the one I really wanted to show off. Volume. Notice this is lower than normal. This is the normal volume here. But I've put everything a lot lower. That's because in past experience, when everything's the same volume, the bass sounds are a lot louder than you think they are. So, while it may seem alright, when I actually edit it and change the volume and or things like that, like basic audio editing, it definitely sounds a lot different. So this is probably the best case scenario for... Ooh. It's probably the best case scenario for everything. I can go back and edit it later if I need to, but for now this is good. See, it's split up into 2 parts here. And you see you got 16th notes, 8th notes, that very basic stuff. Again, no triplets or anything like that. We're stuck in 4/4 time or whichever similar range before. I haven't done music stuff in years, since like the very beginning of high school, so that was a long time ago. I barely remember all the ins and outs and terminology, so bear with me if you can. Anyway, changed all the instruments accordingly. Might as well go over a few other small things. This places notes, this erases it, and this does interesting things. You can copy and paste things here. this completely copies it. This is undo and redo, by the way. And this moves things. Pretty good. Start off this measure. Oh, really didn't like that. Anyway, this little button down here. You can't really hear it now, but it sort of does a swing, a shuffle, whatever you call it. This is undo, redo. This changes things for the entire song. Like if you set instrument to, oh, I want this to be this one. You can barely hear it, but it did change the instrument there. Put it back there. Anyway, you can flat out, I don't know why I use that term, you can just completely copy something like that. Or we can actually import stuff from other songs, actually. But I'm not going to do that here. You can copy tracks from a different phrase. There you go, now we have that here for the same various settings as well. This is actually for, yeah, you can hum to the mic, which I don't know if that will work on this emulator, but you can do it on your DS, and it'll do nuts for you. Not sure how accurate that can be, but there we go. That's basically all the stuff you really need to know as far as song making goes for now. Oh yeah, one thing that also helped out. This flag at the end shows like when it'll repeat. So at the end of this, it goes back to phrase 1. Really don't need to do that. It's slowing down a whole lot. Not a big fan of that. Anyway, this can actually help, especially if your song repeats at the end and you want to record all that. Otherwise, you have to manually do it. It does not sound as good as if you've heard some of my other songs there. Anyway, like I said, that's basically all you really need to do. That's basically all you really need to know for now. Just keep going through the song, making changes when appropriate. Oh yeah, one other thing I did want to point out is that since the MIDI file I have doesn't have a percussion track, if I had to go to Audacity and painstakingly go through the first few seconds over and over again just to hear every bit of the percussion track. So I had to go through that short amount of time over and over and over and over again. That first few, like 3 seconds or so, just listening to the percussion, trying to single it out. And I think I did a decent job at it. Going back here. Down here. Ooh, still don't like the slowdown there. It'll be better once I stop the recording, but yeah, you get the idea. So I will probably just skip ahead until I finish the whole song. Yeah, that's probably best. So, I guess best of luck to you, and I'll see you when I finish this entire song, which will probably take a few days if I'm taking decent amount of breaks. I'm not going to spend all, I'm not going to go through the whole song at once. That's a bit too much. I gotta take breaks, because I do get tired. Depending on the length of the song, it'll take several lengths of the whole things, like with, Asgore was one of them I did that took a while. So, for me, I use save states here. It's just a lot more convenient, but if you have a DS, you may have to go to the other... Hold on. I'll save for now. You have to go to the other record there. You only have 2 at most, but you will have to continue from there, which is a bit annoying. This is one of the reasons I did switch to an emulator, but again, I recommend starting from the normal DS game if you want. I do recommend it, though. Anyway, yeah, I've been prolonging this too much, as I always do with these sort of things. Anyway, see you at the very end of the song making, which may take a while and may end up actually going over 2 different save states. Anyway, see you then. Alright, and we're back. It's about a day later, and I finally finished the song. Yeah. It usually takes around 2 days at the very least. Like, because I had really nothing to do, and I got bored, and I'm like, I might as well just work on the song since I started the video beforehand. Might as well get it finished now. So, I did want to point out a few other things while we're here. First off, in case I didn't mention it earlier, this button down here is your friend. Like, especially with percussion stuff. Because you can copy tracks from any other measure. It's very good. Especially with percussion stuff, as I said. I did have to go through the song many times just to get the percussion track. Luckily, there was a lot of repetition in it, which I can't really say about a lot of other songs, but for in this case, it was very helpful. Anyway, another thing here is that I usually have an empty measure right here, because when I play it, we got these little noises from the buttons here, which we don't really want. So I start from here, it goes into the song, and there's none of that pesky bloopy bloop buttons. Anyway, how to actually record it, we could just use Stereo Mixer or some other way to record audio with Audacity, but you can't really see it in OBS. But if you go to File on this emulator I'm using, Desmume, how do you pronounce it? That's what I'm using specifically. If you go to File, there's a Record WAV option. So click that, save it to a place, and it'll record whatever you play for until you press Stop Record. So I will go quickly do that because it'll take a bit, because not only do I have this part of the song, but I made a second save state because it went a bit long. So boop, there we go. That's the second one. Spans this whole second top row here. That's the other half of the other third of the song, I guess. Anyway, I will be back in Audacity right after I'm done actually recording this and getting all the files set up. Alright, we're back again, and before we actually go with syncing up the audio from the two different save states, I do want to go back to the game for a short second to show off another technique that I do. This is actually a part from the last save state that I just moved over here, because I noticed that if I leave an empty space at the end, for example, this is a part before I have the percussion, listen to what happens with one of the notes. If I try to paste it on the end there, it might sound a bit weird, so I just keep it going here, so there's a clear... no, wrong turn. So that there's a normal, like, rhythm to it, as opposed to just cutting it in at the end there. Anyway, back to here. So I opened up the first part here, made a second stereo track, pasted the other half here, or third rather, whatever, you know what I mean. And now here comes a bit of a difficult part. First off, let's get to the actual start of the song. Okay, so about there. That's about it. Okay, so now we have to sync up the two parts here. So this helps in that I had the other part from there. So let's see this. Okay, so I got we have to zoom in for this, but I have to sync this up right. Zoom in a bit. Get it good enough. Okay, that seems about right. Nope. Wait, hold on. I chose poorly there. I forgot how you get it to sync up perfectly. And, like, just get rid of the white space there. Whatever, I'll figure it out. Anyway, I will cut away again real quick so I can finish this up and get a bit better. So, see you in a bit. Okay, we're back, and hopefully that'll be the last of all the cutting around and all that stuff. Anyway, I finally synced up everything right. Got all that done. There's a second part cut in. I copied and pasted so it repeated, all that fun stuff. Came about to be a good amount of time, and I will go through all this in like Adobe Audition, do a bit of extra audio editing, but it took a lot of zooming in, but I made so it was a good cut there. So you can barely notice that. Anyway, there's one more thing I did want to show off in regards to syncing audio. I'm going to go over to the emulator right there. Anyway, so this is another song I worked on recently, Asgore from Undertale. And there's another thing I did here that's a bit different. So normally you only have like 4 instruments, right? Well, I made a second save state that has the same music tracks, but now there's 3 extra here that I add because I felt like I couldn't get the most out of the music of just the 4. So I sort of cheated a bit, but not really. But yeah, here we go. So what I did is I synced them from this point. I synced up that sound effect there. So they all start at the same time. We got the same part. It all worked out fine. Anyway, back to here. Yeah, like I said, I will do a bit of audio editing to make sure it's all really good. Like the audio balance is all good, and it does a good fade out at the end, that sort of thing. And that's about it for this tutorial. So I hope you have enjoyed, and maybe this will help you to make your own covers if you want to. So you will be able to see the results in the on the SoundCloud link I'll provide and the YouTube link for the video that will be accompanying this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Check out my other stuff if you are interested, and that's about it. I'm bad at ending these type of videos where I not yeah, like that. Yeah, I'm bad at ending this. Anyway, see you guys later.